Standing in a field of recently sown spring beans. This crop was sown on St. Patrick's Day, the variety being Fanfare. The majority of the field is after being rolled. As we can see, the headlands have not been rolled. The crop received its pre-emergent spray a day after sowing. As I said, the variety is Fanfare and the sowing rate was 16 stone. If we actually take a bit of a dig down, we can actually see one of the recently sown beans. I've had to dig quite deep for this. The bean is down 5-6 inches deep, which is the ideal sowing depth for beans. There's a number of reasons why we actually like to have beans down this far. One of the reasons being birds, crows. That is a big issue. One noticeable feature I noticed when I walked into the field was the lack of crows on it. And then I went digging for the beans, and after finally digging down 6 inches, I finally found a bean, which shows that yeah, they are plenty deep enough. What also helps the depth of the bean is due to herbicide application. The herbicide that this field received was Nirvana plus Lingo. Nirvana is pendimethalin based, Lingo is linuron based. Linuron has a tendency to bleach beans, especially if herbicide application is delayed or if there's heavy rainfall. The fact that that bean is down so deep, bleaching of the bean is certainly minimised. Just a bit more of a background to the crop. The crop would have received 3 bags to the acre of a product called Bean Master. This product contains 0 nitrogen, 8p and 21 units of potash, with the addition of sulfur, magnesium, calcium and boron. Those 4 elements may seem like minor elements, but they are quite important to beans, in particular calcium and boron. Obviously, a lot of you know that beans don't require nitrogen. They're a nitrogen fixing plant, hence only the use of 0821 plus the micronutrients in the form of Bean Master. That's the crop nutrition looked after for the year. Herbicide application, as I've touched on, it received an application of 3 litres to the hectare of Nirvana and 1.5 litres to the hectare of Lingo. This was applied directly after sowing. As you can see on the field, and it is quite notable that the headlands are not rolled, but they are sprayed. The main part of the field is rolled and it's also sprayed. The headlands were just not fit to roll after sowing, so the farmer made the conscious decision to forget about rolling the headlands but apply the pre-emergence herbicide ASAP. One issue on this ground, and this is more due to rotation rather than anything else, is rotation. Oilseed rape would have been grown on this farm in the past. This pre-emergence herbicide which we have applied takes out most broadleaf weeds, but one that does slip through the net is the brassica family in the form of volunteer oilseed rape in this case. This crop is going to need a follow-up herbicide application of Bazagran, which will take out the volunteer oilseed rape. There is still a lot of beans to go in around the country. Ideally, we would have liked to have beans sown maybe in February. We're now approaching the end of March, but look at soil temperatures are beginning to heat up. If your fertility is in good stead and you are willing to be patient, I've no doubt that those beans will get up and get away. Perhaps the one slight negative is that harvesting date may push in, into the middle of October, towards the end of October, as opposed to a more traditional bean harvest of the end of September, first week of October. But yeah, some of the first crops of beans sown, seed beds ideal. Where it was rolled, it was rolled and sprayed. Some people might wonder, why not roll the headlands now after they've been sprayed? Unfortunately, that's not a runner when you use a pre-emergence herbicide. Pre-emergence herbicides tend to form almost a cling film across the surface of the soil, and even by us walking across the field today, in our boots, we tend to break that seal as such. So rolling is out of the question for the rest of the field